Behavioral addictions in adolescents and youth. Behavioral addictions are similar to drug addiction, except that the individual is not addicted to a substance, but he/she is addicted to the behavior or the feeling experienced by acting out the behavior. Some trending behavioral addictions among young people have attracted the attention in our society due to the fast-evolving digital world, where some digital applications have produced a negative impact on their lives. The prevalence of gaming addiction among adolescents can be attributed to the widespread availability of video games on many platforms and the immersive experience offered by its communities, capacity of speaking with other players around the world during the games, tutorials with important advices, etc. Many teenagers are captivated and lose themselves for many hours per day, frequently neglecting other obligations and activities. Similarly, excessive use of social media, online surfing, and digital communication channels have become common behavioral addictions in youngsters. They are continuously linked to virtual worlds because of the easy access to smartphones and other gadgets. Furthermore, some examples of factors that contribute to their addiction are: they navigate a world of information displayed according to their personal interests, peer connections, high need of validation, number of likes, positive comments, etc. Youth, in particular, may find difficult to resist the temptation of social media platforms since they provide a forum for digital identity formation, self-expression, and social comparison. Furthermore, some young people are becoming more and more addicted to pornography, which is partly due to the ease with which explicit information and pornography can be accessed online. In the past, teens under the age of 18, some countries under 21, were not able to find easily pornographic material, but now even children without parental control can view images with only one mouse click. Adolescents may get addicted as they search for sexual stimulation and fulfillment on digital platforms. This can result in wrong ideas about intimacy, relationships, and sexuality. The desire of possible profits have made youngsters online gambling a serious problem in recent years. Youth have quick access to online gambling platforms, allowing them to participate in a range of gambling activities from the comfort of their own homes. Furthermore, anonymity and the lack of age control in some platforms allow youngsters to get involved easily. The issue is further made worse by pushy marketing strategies and alluring promos that target young people through internet and social media ads. Reasons linked with addictions. The study, Frequency of Substance Abuse Among Adolescents, describes several factors that can lead to substance abuse: predisposing factors, maintaining factors, protective factors. These factors define an individual's vulnerability to become addict, escalating and recovery from substance misuse. Predisposing factors create psychological susceptibilities and vulnerabilities in people, making them more likely to develop addictions. After the line of substance misuse has been crossed, maintenance factors aggravate and sustain the psychological issues linked to the cycle of addictions. In spite of these difficulties, protective factors become important variables in halting further deterioration, maintain a healthy development, and having important implications in prognosis and treatment outcomes. Although this study details several factors, this book explains the personal predisposing ones in greater detail. The reason of going beyond the main information is because the path to addiction begins with an individual decision of taking the first step. The remaining factors, environmental predisposing, maintaining, and protective, are included in the same line as the study. Predisposing factors. Personal predisposing factors. Emotional problems. The way a person feels can play a vital role in addictions. For example, avoidance or fake coping mechanisms. People who experience distressed feelings due to personal difficulties, traumas, etc., may turn to drug abuse as a way of escaping from reality. Alcohol and drugs can provide a brief emotional break, which fuels the desire to use them, despite of their harmful effects. Bad self-medication. Persons who struggle with emotional issues like anxiety or depression may take prescribed medicines without control, alcohol or other drugs to get rid of these uncomfortable feelings. Impaired judgment. When a person has many emotional problems, they are more likely to make poor decisions and getting involved in dangerous habits, such as consuming drugs. Some substances can cause impaired cognitive functioning, which makes more difficult for them to understand that they are putting their health in risk. Mental health disorders. bipolar and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, are two examples of mental illness that frequently generate diverse negative feelings, making a person more vulnerable to addiction. Conduct disorder, CD. It is a mental health condition that involves a consistent pattern of aggressive and disobedient behaviors. Persons can start in substance use as a way of rebellion and disobedience against specific rules or social norms. This can escalate into addictions. Specific learning difficulties. People who have particular learning issues could face obstacles in social and academic contexts, which could result in feelings of frustration, loneliness, etc. Using substances or specific behaviors as a coping method to get over emotions of inadequacy or failure might encourage addictions. On the other side, these persons can have difficulties to access to academic or professional opportunities. This can increase their leisure time, getting more exposed to being involved in addictions. Positive beliefs about drug use. People's positive drug attitudes might encourage experimentation and ongoing use because they perceive them as fun, socially acceptable in some cases, or beneficial. The pleasurable effects can reinforce these ideas, leading them to seek out substances as a way to improve their mood, manage stress, etc. These beliefs have the potential to become firmly rooted over time, which raises the risk of addictions as people continue to value drug usage because they see its advantages, risk-taking and creating excitement. The surge of adrenaline, excitement, and novelty that come with taking risks can be enhanced by the euphoric effects of narcotics. People, especially youngsters, who like to take risks, can use drugs to enhance their experiences or get away from monotony. However, some of these persons tend to continuously go for riskier or more intense experiences to achieve the appropriate level of stimulation. Therefore, this tendency toward taking risks can turn into addiction, creating a vicious cycle of compulsive drug usage. Problematic temperament, impulsivity, emotional instability, trouble controlling conduct, etc., are characteristics that might make someone more likely to become addicted. Problematic temperaments can make it difficult for a person to control their impulses, which can lead to impulsive and compulsive behaviors like substance misuse. Furthermore, people with this temperament and who experience emotional dysregulation may consume substances as a kind of self-medication. Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem weakens people's feeling of resilience and self-worth, which can play a major role in the emergence of addiction. These persons may feel insufficient, not confident in their skills, see themselves negatively in comparison to others, etc. Because of this, individuals could use drugs to escape their poor self-perceptions or to look for validation from others. Substance abuse can provide them a brief sensation of confidence, which can help them feel less self-conscious. However, relying on drugs to deal with poor self-esteem eventually feeds the addiction cycle because people get more and more reliant on outside approval of their value. Externally controlled focus. This could be the propensity to depend more on outside forces or influences than on internal resources to govern one's actions and emotions. People who have an externally controlled focus may find challenging to regulate their impulses, handle stress, or deal with unpleasant feelings on their own. As a result, these people may use drugs to help them deal with life's obstacles, as they offer a momentary escape from internal struggles and obligations. Environmental predisposing factors. Factors related to the parent-child relationship in childhood. Irregularities in parental discipline, rules, consequences, etc. Parents and caregivers with authoritative methods. Absence of cognitive stimulation. Parents and caregivers with premising methods, without establishing limits. Neglect in responsibilities toward their children. Challenges related to emotional attachment. Exposure to family problems in early childhood. Disharmony or violence within the marital relationship. Parents misuse psychoactive substances. Breakdown of family structure. Psychological issues affecting parents. Deviant behavior of their children. Parents with criminal conduct. Stressful situations in childhood. Separation, bereavement, spending their childhood in an institution, orphanage, etc. Social challenges, abuse. Precipitating factors for substance abuse are triggers, or they encourage the development of the disorder. Social pressure, especially from peers to consume substances. Fake advantages about drug consumption. Health issues such as injuries and illness. curiosity about drugs, wishing to become able to regulate negative mood through drugs, being violated by other peers, abuse, acute stress circumstances. Maintaining factors. Personal maintaining factors. Biological factors. Diseases that can be caused due to the misuse of drugs, for example, HIV, hepatitis, etc., can make consumers have more negative feelings, keeping them in a cycle of addictions. Environmental maintaining factors. Treatment factors. Family members refusing to acknowledge the problem, family indecision in addressing the issues, inexperienced family experiencing for the first time the problem. Family factors. Family consuming drugs, reinforcing attitudes of abuse, drug consumption tolerance, favorable opinions regarding substance consumption, parental factors, disseminating inaccurate information about drug misuse, parents with low self-esteem, lack of confidence within relationships, factors of social network, being part of a peer group involved in substance abuse, conflictive social surroundings, using drugs to attain specific objectives, limited job prospects, elevated level of crime, protective factors. Personal protective factors. Biological factors, positive health. Psychological factors, high levels of IQ, using mature defense measures, positive self-efficacy, good character, optimistic acknowledgement, high self-esteem. Environmental protective factors. Treatment factors. A family that acknowledges the issue and seeks for different solutions for addressing it. A family that accepts and follows a treatment proposal. A family with prior experience in confronting similar challenges. Family factors. Safe bonds between parents-children. Parents' active engagement. Effective communication among family members. Assertive parental model. Structured family dynamics. Flexibility. Parental factors. Security in interpersonal relationships. Effective adaptation of parents. Positive self-efficacy. Strong self-confidence. Effective stress management techniques. Using mature defense measures. Factors of social network. Favorable educational settings. Minimal family stresses. A robust social support network. Good socioeconomic status. Impulsivity and addictions. Impulsiveness can be defined as a behavior in which you do things suddenly, without any planning, and without considering the effects they may have. Some examples are booking a spontaneous trip without considering the logistics or financial implications, making impulsive decisions in social situations without considering how they might affect others, substance use at a party, despite being fully aware of an impending professional obligation the following morning, agreeing to move in with someone shortly after meeting them without fully understanding their habits or lifestyle. How impulsivity has a relation with addictions. Impulsivity can contribute in a person to consume a substance for the first time. Substance consumption can escalate due to impulsivity, leading to addictions. Impulsivity can have an influence with recovering by intensifying desires and cravings and hindering judgment. Characteristics of addictions. Addictions are portrayed by the following characteristics. Loss of control. The hallmark of addiction is a severe loss of behavioural control over the use of substances or activities. People may feel like they have some control at first, but as their addiction worsens, they find it more and harder to resist the impulse of being involved in their addictive activity. They continue their substance use or behaviours despite their best intentions to stop, frequently having cravings that overrule their better judgment. More time and energy commitment. First it was in a party, but then I had to attend to more parties or social gatherings to consume. What may have begun as recreational or infrequent use, it can rapidly spiral out of control and become a daily obsession. They could invest a significant amount of time in preparing for, obtaining, and engaging in the addictive behavior, often at the price of other obligations, connections, and interests. Difficult management and increasing deterioration. Addiction has a widespread effect on many aspects of a person's life and functioning, extending beyond the domain of conduct. Persons who prioritize satisfying their urges and sustaining their addiction over all other considerations may have problems with their employment, education, and other responsibilities. A gradual decline could occur in several aspects of their lives, including their physical and mental health, interpersonal connections, general functioning, etc. Preoccupation. People who are struggling with addiction frequently have thoughts and worries that are solely focused on their addictive behavior. Their emotional and mental resources are disproportionately directed on acquiring, abusing, and sometimes recuperating from drug use. This extreme obsession can cause them become more focused and distant, giving their addiction the highest priority. Continue with addictions no matter what. People continue to engage in consumption despite the serious suffering that this causes to them and their families. Even if they are suffering negative effects on their relationships, finances, and health, they are unable to overcome their addiction. Fake justifications. For those struggling, denial, minimization, and lying themselves are wrong coping mechanisms that help them avoid facing the truth about their behaviors and lessen the distress they cause. People build a psychological barrier that keeps them from realizing the full scope of the damage their addiction has caused by downplaying the seriousness of their acts or justifying their conduct. Denial is the rejection of the existence of the issue. Find more information in the chapter Denial. Signs of addictions. Provide prompt intervention and assistance. Reduce the possible harm resulting from substance usage. Psychological signs. Unexpected behavioral shifts, for example, anger, rebelliousness, happiness, etc. Change or quit from interest they enjoyed. High levels of paranoia, changes in eating, altered sleeping habits, anxiety, depression, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, etc. Social signs, isolation from family, reduction of participation or withdrawal in hobbies. Starts to talk about drugs, changes from old friends, having new friends that are involved in risky activities or drug consumption. Loneliness, not speaking anymore with family members about their new friends or how they spend their ludic time. More absence from home, keeping their lives in secret, not willing to present friends with family members, etc. Physical signs, pupils dilated, red eyes, inexplicable weight gain or loss, frequent bleeding from the nose due to sniffing, shakiness, slurred or very fast speech, say nonsense sentences, frequent bruises in some parts of the body, etc. Alterations in appearance, experiencing withdrawal, cold flashes with goosebumps, muscle aches, vomits, etc. More information about these symptoms in subchapter Withdrawal Symptoms. Having drug paraphernalia, all the objects needed for or connected with a particular activity. Smoking devices, metal glass pipes, bongs water pipes, hookahs, vaporizers, rolling papers, etc. Objects for injections, hypodermic needles, syringes, needle caps, cookers, spoons or bottle caps used to heat drugs for injection, cotton balls or filters, tourniquets or belts used to tie off veins, etc. Substance containers, pill bottles, prescription vials, small plastic bags, aluminum foil, etc. Sniffing and cutting tools, razor blades, knives, flat surfaces, mirrors, etc., hollow tubes, straws, etc. Hiding drug containers, hollowed objects, pens, etc. Secret compartments in personal objects, clothes, furniture, etc. Fake packages, soda cans, bottles, etc. Others, lighters, matches, scales, roach clips, metal clipper holder used to hold a marijuana joint to prevent burning of the fingers, etc. Academic problems, skipping classes, not going to school, lower grades, bad behaviors at school, etc. Legal problems, getting involved with legal matters such as drug-related arrests, illicit substance possession, stealing, etc. Money-related issues, losing money or valuable objects at home without any explanation. Asking for more money, not providing a proper explanation of its use, unreal justifications, etc. etc. Drug sources, browsers search history. They search more on websites and videos about drugs. Social media, they post about drugs. Drug signs, discovering drugs in their room, bags, clothes, etc. Smelling of drugs, for example cannabis, hair, breath, clothes, possessions, etc. Apart from these signs, if you want to identify if you or other persons have addictions in life, read the subchapter Tool to Identify Addictions.